He says this: ethics, as interpreted by the ethical movement, is not a set of fixed absolute commandments or codes of morality. The issues of right and wrong are not so simple that they can be set at one time for all time, in one place for all the earth. Ethics is the attempt to nourish sensitivity, maturity of conscience, and moral judgment, to foster the growth which will transcend the moral codes of the past and move human relationships toward a more secure and just, a more liberating and creative way of life. As Felix Adler arrived at a formulation of what he believed was a flexible, progressive approach to a more ethical life, he expressed his thought in a positive direction, so as to evoke the best in others and thereby in yourself. And this, by the way, if there is a creedal statement in ethical culture, this could be at least part of it. He held that we should treat every human being as having worth, intrinsic value in the self. But he did not assume that he had the authority to state this as a dogma or an absolute in ethics. An ethical philosophy called for an open-ended approach, which would assure human beings freedom, diversity, and creativity. Ethical wisdom would require insight and knowledge and logic. It would reflect the growing conscience of humankind. Although he was willing to stake his reputation and his life on the teaching that human beings should act in relationships as if every human being had worth per se, and although he was ready to make this proposition a central element in his approach to education, to social service, and to social action, he offered it not as a dogma, but as a principle to be tested for its validity. The wonder was that with all this learning and leadership in religion and philosophy and ethics, Felix Adler entitled his major work not the ethical philosophy of life, but rather an ethical philosophy of life. And as Newhouse says, for this I am sure we all thank him. It is a lesson in humility and the expression of his belief that no one leader or one group should ever think that they could achieve and impose a fixed and perfect formulation for the ethical movement. This struggle to be is what we're involved in, and what we have been involved in ever since this organization was founded here on the West Coast.